What is up, everybody? The Green Bay Packers, they go into Chicago. They get a really big win. We're going to get into that in this video. But before we get into it, guys, hit the subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me. Let's get into it. Not only did the Packers, look good defensively, they looked good offensively. Their rookies looked super good. We're going to get into all of that content. We're going to show a highlight in this video. Anyways, let's get into it. What did Matt LaFleur have to say about their performance, about Jordan Love's performance? He said there's a big time relief in the locker room for Jordan Love. I think the guys, they're going to rally around him. They're excited for him. They love him. They respect him. He continues to work every day. Great attitude, great energy. I think you saw that out there today. So true. Jordan Love, he really answered a lot of questions people had coming into this game. Is he ready? Is he going to be ready for that next level starting quarterback in the NFL? Is he going to be up for the call? He certainly looked like it, man. He really did. I'm not saying, guys, hey, start making those Super Bowl t-shirts. The Packers are going to the Super Bowl. They looked super good. Okay. They looked, to me, they answered the question of like, okay, the Packers are legit and they are going to push the lines for the NFC North champions. I really think that. I honestly feel that with all my heart, that the Packers have just as good a chance, if not a better chance than anybody in the NFC North. Jordan Love finished the game with 123 percentage passer rating. Sounds very familiar. A guy we're used to having there in Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers. He ended up with nearly 250 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a stat that I'm super excited about: 0 picks. I loved it. He protected the ball. That's, the team that protects the ball is the team that's going to win. Jordan Love protected the ball. He looked super good. He had that near fumble the one time. He just calmly picked it up and then threw to Luke Musgrave for like 38 yards down the field. I loved it. He looked super good. What did Jordan Love have to say? Jordan Love said, it's definitely been a long time coming for me, 3 years as a backup, just watching, learning, growing, seeing this team work. It feels good to be out there leading those guys and be out there playing with them finally and coming out with a dub just as we wanted. Jordan Love, his leadership, he's been learning under the best of the best in Aaron Rodgers. And he took that. He didn't just sit back there with bitterness. He took that. He was humble enough to be, okay, I'm gonna go out there. I know Aaron Rodgers is the best in the league. Let me learn from him. He was ready for the call. You can tell he's been just prepping his body, his mind, whatever. He was ready for this. I'm going to just really briefly touch on Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur showed his brilliance on offense. There's always been these question marks of was Aaron Rodgers holding the Packers offense back? And it sounds so counterintuitive to say it. Aaron Rodgers he's a special athlete. He is the greatest quarterback in my opinion. You can make the argument top 2 greatest quarterback in the league of all time. I feel Aaron Rodgers. I'm not taking anything away from him when I say this, but you look at what their offense looked like yesterday, and what Matt LaFleur was able to do with some offensive sets and using guys in motion, all of that stuff, 2 back sets. They looked super good. Matt LaFleur got that team ready, and it really made a big difference when you've got guys that are buying into a system and you don't have any distractions there to take away from that. They bought into the system. They looked super good. They came out, and they didn't come out flat like they've done the last couple of years. They came out and just punched, uppercutted the Chicago Bears, and you had so much so that the whole stadium was booing the Bears. I loved it. I was laughing. Super great to see. But let's talk about offensively. Let's talk about some highlights on offense, and let's start at the rookies. Okay, Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. I knew this guy was going to be something special, and he certainly is. I mean, he looked like Randall Cobb out there. He really did. Jaden Reed on special teams. We know he gave us a glimpse of what we can potentially look to expect from him. From punt returns, he looked super good. Another guy in special teams, Keyshawn Nixon. But anyways, Jaden Reed, offensively, he ran some good routes. He came back to the ball. He had some balls that were in his hands, but defensively, the secondary got their hand in there, knocked a couple of away. But overall, he provided a very nice number 2 target for Jordan Love. Looked super good offensively. Aaron Jones, we don't even need to really dive into Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones looked amazing. He showed himself to be a leader out there, and he just felt like, hey guys, put the team on my back. I'm going to bring you guys down the field. I'm going to provide that level of comfort that Jordan Love needed to be able to be like, okay, the pressure's not all on me. I've got a guy like Aaron Jones that's going to go out there and get us the yards that we need. I loved it. Aaron Jones looked fantastic. Luke Musgrave, another guy, tight ends take a couple years to develop, but Luke Musgrave opened up blocking wise. He had a couple of nice blocks. He opened up a hole for Aaron Jones to run through. Luke Musgrave looked super good. There was the only question mark was that one route where he came towards the sidelines when he should have gone out. Jordan Love led him perfectly towards the end zone, which he would have gotten like 60 yards on the touchdown there. He ended up with 2 catches for 50 yards. Really looked good. The amount of space that Luke Musgrave creates with him in the secondary is unbelievable. He is going to be an absolute standout in this league. I really, truly feel that way. Another rookie that stood out on offense, Carlson, he goes out there calmly and just boots this 52-yard field goal right down the middle. It looked like he could have kicked that thing from 65. He looked super good. Lucas Van Ness on defense. Let's switch to defense. Lucas Van Ness, defensively as a rookie, he looked good. He was manhandled a couple of times, but he provided some quickness. He was able to contain the end quite a bit, as much as you can against a guy like Justin Fields. Justin Fields so elusive back there. He was able to get out a few times, but Lucas Van Ness, when the Bears were in the red zone, he got that huge sack for them. Looked super good, broke down efficiently, made the tackle. He looked good. But let's talk about defensively. Darnell Savage led the team. There's so much to go over, guys. Darnell Savage led the team with 10 tackles. Quay Walker, his pick 6. We're going to show that highlight in a second. Devontae Wyatt, he came out and he did not disappoint. 1.5 sacks, 2 QB pressure hits. He had Kenny Clark. I liked what I saw to Kenny Clark too, how they moved him around. He had a 1/2 sack, 2 QB hits as well. Kingsley Egbari, he had, I think, a pass deflection or 2. He looked super good as well. He was able to get their defensive front was able to get into the backfield and just cause a lot of disruption, force Justin Fields out of the pocket. Their linebackers were able to just come up with some big plays. They read screen plays well on defense. They really did look super good, and special teams looked good. Keyshawn Nixon, like we said, they overall looked absolutely brilliant and amazing. Guys, leave your comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the game. I loved it. Let's leave us with a highlight from Quay Walker here.
3rd and long, 4-man rush. Field stands in, delivers, intercepted. Quay Walker's got it. Looking for blocks. Walker still on his feet,
man.
Walker's still going, looking for the end zone. Quay Walker is in.
Super good, man. The Packers looked absolutely amazing. Overall performance, I could not be happier. It is a win. They started out so good this season. I can't wait to dive into their upcoming game versus the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments. Subscribe.